When a marriage suffers deep wounds, whether from betrayal, addiction, or years of harsh communication, the pain is entirely disorienting. In that panic, human instinct kicks in, and we treat the relationship like a construction project. We want to tear the whole thing down, demand immediate accountability, and somehow rebuild the entire structure over a single stressful weekend. This brute force approach almost always backfires. We put immense pressure on our partner, waiting for a cinematic breakthrough, one dramatic, tearful conversation that magically restores years of broken trust. But human hearts simply do not heal on a construction schedule. Healthy marriages must be cultivated like a garden. Any experienced gardener knows you cannot force a seed to sprout. You cannot rush the seasons, and you certainly can't demand a harvest before the root system has even formed in the soil. To survive the relational winter, couples need a very specific set of tools. We frame this using the divine pattern of growth: discover, plan, act, and reflect. Using this framework means abandoning the exhausting pressure of instant fixes. Instead, you commit to a deliberate, step-by-step, Christ-centered process of cultivation. That process begins by looking inward. You cannot tend your spouse's soil, force them to be humble, or fix their trauma. True healing starts with tending your own heart. This is the discover phase. It requires taking a hard personal inventory, asking yourself, am I actually emotionally regulated? Am I spiritually grounded right now? Am I taking responsibility for my own actions? You must discover the emotional weeds in your own behavior before they choke out communication. Threats like defensiveness, sarcasm, contempt, or a constant sense of urgency. The strict rule for managing these weeds is simple. If the spirit is absent during a conflict, stop talking. Stepping away before your nervous system floods is the most loving action you can take to protect the relationship from further injury. Look at the intimacy pyramid. Jumping to physical connection without emotional safety first forces the relationship to carry unsupported weight. Plan from the bottom up. After safety, secure the verbal and emotional layers. Only them can spiritual and physical intimacy safely lock into place. Skipping these lower layers asks physical connection to heal wounds that only emotional and spiritual work can reach. Starting from the foundation provides the structural integrity necessary for intimacy to actually take root. Now we move from theory to reality. Getting the plan onto paper is one thing. Doing the daily work of the relationship is another. This is the act phase, and you need to know upfront, repairing a relationship rarely feels romantic. Learning to stop an argument or offering gratitude when you're frustrated takes strict discipline. It will feel awkward and mechanical. You are planting tiny seeds, a calm conversation, an apology with zero excuses attached, keeping a minor daily promise. To a nervous system traumatized by betrayal, these tiny actions are massive. They act as concrete evidence, signaling to your partner that the environment is finally becoming safe. To maintain safety, you must enter the reflect phase. The greatest trap is obsessing exclusively over the things your partner hasn't changed yet. Instead, you have to actively search for the single bloom in the middle of the thorns. Maybe an argument de-escalated 1 minute earlier today. Maybe someone chose honesty over hiding. When you reflect on and celebrate those micro-victories, you shift your momentum from despair to hope. Trust is rebuilt through this quiet consistency, trusting the Savior to provide the ultimate increase. Consistently running this cycle, discovering your soil, planning for safety, acting with intention, and reflecting on wins creates a completely new set of relational habits. This new courtship shifts focus from trying to revive the old marriage to establishing a partnership with levels of safety and Christ-centered connection that were previously missing. You are responsible for doing the daily work of tending the soil and pulling the weeds, but it is the Savior's healing power that makes the restoration possible. If you are ready to learn this framework and do the work of cultivation, join the Marriage Repair Workshop led by Life-Changing Services. With faithful effort and divine help, no relational winter is permanent. Even a garden damaged by the worst storms can bloom again.